the left, Israel has the right and the left, and then the right's usually religious people or more conservative people, and they have one idea about what to do with people that are there as the enemies surrounding them. And then the left in Israel has another idea, namely that give the Palestinians a state, be nicer to them, and they're very pro-peace. And I would like to I would like to explain my opinion about where they're coming from, because the right thinks that they're just crazy and they're just self-hating Jews or whatever it is that they say. And I don't think, I think that's a generality. I don't think it's a really, that's not a really, I think it's a generality. It's not a real understanding of where they're coming from. And I think there's a very interesting angle on what's going on when people are peaceniks or whatever you call these leftists in Israel. Your life in Israel, and you're told or you see that certain people, these Palestinians, are your enemy. Then, by chance or somehow, you get to establish a connection with one of those people. Leftists in Israel, they are insecure. Basically, they're Jewish people they're insecure in their place in the world because of many years of oppression and because of and also, honestly, because of the way the world treats them. Constant negativity that Israel gets, whether it's in the United Nations or in the world in general, or online, or anywhere, they're constantly being beat up on and held to a higher standard. And even when they do that standard, they're constantly being told that it's wrong that they exist, etc., etc. So it makes sense that if you have your religion, if you're tied to Judaism, whether it's or as a religious Jew or whether it's just as a committed, proud Jew, it's one thing. But if you're of a leftist and it's more that you don't have that type of connection, it's harder. It becomes more that you lead a secular lifestyle, but then you would like to be accepted by the world. And the few secular Israelis I met, it's really heartbreaking, honestly, to see, because all they want is to be connected. All they want is to be accepted by other people. All they want is to be loved and accepted, and they love and accept the rest of the world. They want the rest of the world to love and accept them. It's sort of like it's very interesting historically, and it's sad, though, to watch it because it's not what's going on, and it's all that these people want. But the point is that secular Israelis are not confident about their place in the world. Now, what if they then connect with one of these enemies, the bad men, the Palestinians, and they somehow establish a connection with those people? What happens now? They're given, except they feel that they're starting, because at the end of the day, all Jews are religious people. All Jews are religious. Some Jews are religious traditionally with their own religion. Some Jews are religious Buddhists. Some Jews are religious leftists. Okay, that's why Jews are just religious people naturally. They're very religious about everything they do. They could be very religious atheists too. Okay, it gets very entertaining. So they're very religious about this idea of making peace with the Arabs, peace with Palestinians, peace with people that want to kill them. But they establish a connection initially, and this connection gives them an idea that they're going to be accepted into the world, an idea of peace. It's also on a national level, but also personally, it makes them feel very validated, loved, and it gives them that sort of love connection of. It's hard to explain exactly what happens, but it's like, wow, you're from the other side of the wall of Gaza, you're from the other side of the wall of the West Bank. I'm talking about before the October 7th, before the massacre. You're on the other side of the Gaza, you're on the other side of the wall of the West Bank. And even though we're on the other two sides, it's also like a cool factor. We're going to connect and we're going to establish a connection, and it's like a drug. My point is that leftism is basically an addiction. It's a drug. They're addicted to this idea, to this connection, to this love, warm connection. I know probably people watching this video are explaining it in better words, so put it in the comments if you want, wherever the comments are. That's what's happening here. It is basically a drug. This connection is an addiction, and it becomes a drug that you become dependent on. Now, what if that drug is challenged? How would that be? Politically, through maneuvers, through action by the IDF, by the Israeli army. And even if the Israeli army says, listen, there are terrorists in that town, we have to go in, they'll say, no, don't go in. Just be nice to these people, because I'm nice to one of those guys, one of those people, one of those families. We have a strong connection. Let's do anything we can. I will demonstrate against anything that goes against it. And I want to have this thing continuing. Even if they're proven that those people, well, maybe their neighbors want to kill you. Let's not let that get in our way either. What if I prove to you those people themselves want to kill you? No, if we're just nicer, if we're just this, if we're just that. It's an interesting take on the left in Israel, those people who are so pro-peace, and they go crazy for it, which, again, I wouldn't say there's any judgment. It totally makes sense. And also, this is a theory. I don't know enough people on the left, and I really hope to continue to travel. So far, I've gone to Tel Aviv several times. Honestly, it was, again, heartbreaking because I'll explain a little bit,